Hello, Scrooge McDuck fans out there. I don't know why it's the introduction that just came to my head. Don't disregard that. I'm so sorry. It is your host for the most, Benjamin Dutil, with the Horror Heathen YouTube channel and the South Jersey Horror Podcast. Today with me, I have a wonderful, talented, and beautiful actress, Skye Coyne, who is in this movie called The Naughty List of Mr. Scrooge. She plays the character Tabby Banks, and I have three words: death by Dickens. That's all I'm gonna do.
Oh my God. I
So,
love
so, so anyway, we're gonna jump into the questions because I want to get to know more about your character in this movie. Just had the opportunity to watch it this morning, and Jesus Christ, man, such a big twist on the Scrooge. I can't wrap my head around it. So, anyway, without further ado, please give a warm welcome to Skye Coyne. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm just finishing up the last of my
Hmm.
coffee here. My husband and I are big coffee people, so yeah, it's I'm having a good day so far.
So I love coffee too. I mean, there's this coffee club that my wife and I are a part of. It's called Atlas Coffee, where they send you different flavors every month. Um, yeah, it's great from all over the world. Yeah,
Wait,
it's
I feel like
phenomenal.
you're gonna need to add, is it okay? Is it just different blends or do they straight up have like actual flavored coffee?
Actual flavored blend coffee. It's really great. Um, the best one I had was from Peru because they had like apples in it and some other weird flavors to it. So it was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. So it was
Send that
phenomenal.
to me when this is done because my husband and I are like big, big coffee people.
Yeah, just Google Atlas Coffee. You'll come to the website. They send you different. They send you two bags. Um, but we have our own coffee grinder too, so we grind our own coffee as well,
We do
and which
that
is
too.
even better. So, yeah,
Ah,
because they send you the whole beans and you grind them yourself. So,
yes.
but I go through coffee like it's water because I drink it so
Yeah.
damn much. It's ridiculous.
Yep. I'm
Um,
right there with you, literally.
I've already had like 4 cups today, which is nuts. It's probably what explains why I'm so
I
hyper.
gotta catch up.
So,
I'm on number one. I'm on number one. I'll get there.
and she also got me some other flavored coffee for Christmas. She knows I love coffee, like Black Rifle Coffee. You know, that's a veteran owned business. I love them as well. So they got really good coffee too. Anyway, we digress. We diverted. So we're done. So one of the many films that presents a Christmas slasher for the year 2024, but has a unique twist to the film. And I guess Mr. Scrooge just finally fucking lost it. I don't know. He went nuts.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
so if you could please enlighten us with some wisdom of who you are and where you come from and how you got involved with the movie.
Yeah, so who I am, who am I? Um, I mean, I am an actor, so that's what I do with my career. As far as how I got linked up with this movie, it's funny. So my agent actually sent me an email for this audition and she was like, "Hey, have you ever worked with this team before?" This team being this production company called Ninth House Films. So they do a lot of stuff for Lifetime. I think they have some things that have gone to Netflix. So they're a production company essentially. And I didn't recognize any of their names, but I was like, "No, I haven't worked with this specific company before." And she goes, "Okay, well, I've worked with these people like they do really really fun stuff." So anyway, so I put the audition on tape, read the full script and was like, this is a fun script because I am a big horror fan myself. Like I
Uh-huh.
grew up that was always my favorite genre growing up as a kid. And I've done some thrillers, but this is really my first true like horror balls to the wall. Like this is horror. So anyway, I sent in the
Huh.
audition tape and then my agent literally called me the next day and was like, "Yeah, so you booked it," which was really fast. I mean, sometimes that happens where it's like a couple days later, but this is the first time that it was literally the next day. So I was obviously super fucking pumped to be on board. Um, and funnily enough, I feel like the prep that I did for this project in specific, I've never quite prepped in this way, and I'll tell you why. Um, the I had a trip planned for like the week before we were supposed to start shooting, where me and my really good friend Natalie literally went to Wyoming to do like a horseback riding backpacking trip in the middle of the wilderness, like fully off grid for 4 days. So I'm over here, like, there's this saying in the actor world that's like, you want to book a job, just book a vacation. And I feel like this is a prime example of that. Because I'm just out here in like fucking grizzly bear country, prepping my script, writing all my notes, doing my whole process. And it was weirdly effective though, because you don't really, aside from when you're riding, I'm like, I have all this time to just chill in my tent with a bunch of spiders, which kind of felt like it added to the horror element in a way. It was definitely one of the grittier trips that I've done, so it felt appropriate to be prepping for something like this in that environment. So that was kind of how I got brought on board with the project.
Nice. You're a much better person than I am because I cannot stand the smell of horses, nor even look at them. So,
What?
yeah, I am from New Jersey. I am not a country person. Okay, I'm
I mean,
sorry.
I understand.
So,
It's a
um,
specific
how,
smell. I get it.
because however, the station was in the army, stationed at Fort Hood, Texas, and when you go out to the field, all you smell is cow and horse manure. Like
Oh,
in hot weather, it's disgusting. So
yeah,
I'm like, I've had my fill of the smell of horse crap. All right, I mean,
I understand. I mean, same. It's weird though. I
so
find it comforting. Like I'm one of those crazy people that I smell it and I'm like, like it doesn't bother me. I don't know why.
nope. Especially when I was driving to East Texas to see a friend, and you drive through the whole county, it smells like horse manure the entire 30 minutes driving through. Even
Yeah.
with the windows up, AC going, you're like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's
I
disgusting. So,
definitely understand.
and I'm like, I'm done. No more horse crap for me. So,
Yeah.
so your character, Tabby, I want to know more about her. So, from your perspective, can you describe your character?
From my perspective, can I describe my character? I think I think who she is at the beginning of the movie is different than who she is at the end of the movie. I think at the beginning of the movie, she is somebody who is not, I don't think she's entirely being honest with herself and doing what she genuinely wants to be doing in her life. She's very much a people pleaser, a little bit of a pushover, um, has a hard time standing up for herself. So I think she's not quite settled in who she is at the beginning of the movie. And then obviously, once she gets to the chateau with all these friends that she hasn't seen since college, and then shit hits the fan, and everyone, spoiler alert, everyone starts dying. Obviously, it's a horror movie. People, what do you expect? I think as those things continue to happen, I think it fundamentally changes her as a person. And then she ends up being betrayed in the biggest way that you possibly can. So I think after that, obviously, we don't get to see exactly who she is after that. But my take on it is, after the movie ends, it's like she is a completely changed, altered person who will not take shit from anybody and will fiercely defend the people that she loves because she's been through it, you know?
And my thoughts exactly. I mean, I think the death and murder brings out the best of people in these movies. So
Yeah, really.
it's either gonna bring out the better person in you or the worst person in you. So in this
Yes.
case, for Tabby, the best part of her came out. So
Yeah.
um she developed, and I like that. So coming out of your shell, and it just obviously it makes someone a better person throughout the movie, and
Yeah.
more likable too. So I did like Tabby, by the way. She's a really good character in the movie. Um
Oh, good. Thanks. I'm glad you
you
did.
you nailed the role. You did really good and really
Oh,
not
thank you, Benjamin.
my so grammar sucks. Sorry, you did really well playing the role. so
That's okay.
okay, filming this movie had to be fun. And I mean, I can tell just by watching, the chemistry on set, the dynamic with you and the other characters in the movie. Rehearsing for the movie must have been quite a challenge, though. I mean, I have to know more about that.
Yeah, so the funny thing about rehearsals is there weren't any. So, I mean, obviously if we were about to shoot a scene, we would step onto set and do a rehearsal of the scene, but that was really day one, everybody showing up to set was the first time that we all got to meet, except for Liz Fenning, who played Chandler. She and I have known each other for years. And that was one of the things that I was so excited about when I finally, got the offer and everything and accepted. And then we were sent like basically a big welcome to the cast email, and I saw her name as part of the cast, and I like pooped my pants. I was so fucking excited because she's somebody that I love so dearly, and she's so talented. She like is such a standout in this movie to me. I mean, everybody is like, this is, I think, because of the people that were in this movie, it's become one of my favorite things that I've done because everybody genuinely had so much fun. Everybody was equally committed. And we just had a really good time making it. I think this is the kind of movie where you have to do that. You take it really seriously, but there are definitely like comedy elements to this movie. I think it's a
Right.
movie that doesn't take itself super seriously. So I feel like we all kind of had that approach when filming it and making it together.
Yeah. So
Um,
were there any challenges at all while filming this movie?
oh gosh, I mean, yeah, I feel like there's always things that come up. I'm trying. Oh, yeah. There's one specifically that I can think of. It's actually the very last scene in the movie, the like final girl moment where I'm sitting on the stairs in the front porch of the house, and I have the little Scrooge doll or whatever. So this is actually kind of a funny story. So Jake Helgren, the writer director, wonderful human being, he had our props department like I want to say that the art department made this Scrooge doll or they ordered it, but it was very fragile, it was very breakable. And Jake, the director, made a point to, really stress to everybody, you have to be so careful with this Scrooge doll. This is what we need for the final shot in the movie. He told everybody but me that so I'm sitting on the front porch, the sun's going down, it's about to like go behind the mountain. We're about to lose all of our light. And we're rolling. It's the scene where I think I say like God bless us everyone, like one of those
Yeah,
things.
yeah, yeah.
And I take this Scrooge
Hmm.
doll out of its case and kind of flop it on the ground, and like I want to say it was, I think literally the head fell off.
Oh shit.
And I was like, I'm so sorry. I broke this like very fragile, very important thing. And Jake, the director, he was cracking up. He's like, well, in the moment we were all like, oh fuck shit. Oh God, what do we do? Um, but our art department was amazing and they were able to like super glue it back together and it ended up being fine. But it's little things like that where things go wrong. You're chasing the light, you kind of have to just like do the very best you can. So
Yeah.
that was like a fun little mishap. I'm certain that there were more, but I honestly feel like we had a couple overnights that were pretty brutal. We shot a little bit outside of LA, so everybody had to like drive there, and overnights are interesting because I have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with them, and here's why. It's because I feel like, you know, I am like a grandmother when I go to bed at a very early hour typically. So night shoots, everybody gets to this level of delusion where you're so tired, but it's just like it's wackadoodle time is what I call it. Everyone is just all of your filters, your inhibitions are just out the fucking window. And so I feel like sometimes overnights, even though they are brutal, they mess up your sleep schedule for days. It's just, you have to embrace the chaos of it all because you're like, I'm at this random fucking house like an hour and a half away, and it's 4 a.m. and I'm running and screaming in heels. Like, what a cool job?
So I tried that before too. I'm kidding. No,
I'd like to see that.
running and screaming in heels. I can't. Okay, watching women walk in heels just hurts me just by looking. I can't imagine how women wear heels. I don't know how to do it. I mean,
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't usually by choice. And if I do, they're like this big, but good Lord, the heels that I wore in that movie. There would be times where um in between takes, I would just take the shoes off because they looked great. And I'm so happy that La Marcus, our costume designer, I'm so happy she chose those because I just think they looked really good on camera. But I'm also like, holy shit, these are really high. They were very high.
So props to you for doing that. I mean, yeah, it just looks painful. I mean, I get with platform shoes, I understand, but
Yeah, sure.
high heels, like I see people with a heel with like that much of a tip on it or something. Like, how do you people do it? So
Yeah.
lots of props and respect for doing that. Um, so this movie, I love Christmas horror movies. I've always been like a huge fan. Like Black Christmas, Silent Night, Deadly Night. So this one definitely resonates with the killer Christmas spirit. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Um, have you seen any other horror Christmas movies before, prior to this movie being in this one?
Not really. Honestly, I don't think I've seen any horror Christmas movies. And I need to. Have you seen Christmas, Bloody Christmas?
Yes.
Okay, my friend, the final girl of that movie, Riley Dandy, my husband and she did my husband did a movie with her. They did a movie together. So she's a good friend of mine. So that movie has been on my list for so long. But I haven't seen any Christmas horror movies.
Yeah. So if you have a chance, reach out to her for me. I tried to get her on my show several times.
I'll definitely reach out to her.
I've emailed her agent so many times, and every time I get no, she's not interested. Like, damn it. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I'm persistent, so I keep trying.
Yeah,
Um,
there you go.
so I'll send you an email or a message. Say, hey, talk to Riley for me. I want her on my show
Yeah,
because
she's great.
all of December I do Christmas specials for my shows.
Oh, it's
So like
awesome.
all yeah, so it's all Christmas horror movies and stuff. Like last year I had like 8 people come on my show for Christmas horror movies. It was great.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah. Who did I do? Who did I have before? The mean one. I had what's her name? Oh, I see the names escape me. So I don't remember now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mean one. The spin off of the Grinch movie. So um, great Christmas horror movie. David Howard Thornton plays the great. I can't say the G word because copyright infringements.
Ah.
So it's stupid, but whatever. Um, anyway, I love Christmas horror movies. It's something I
Yeah.
recently touched on, and now I'm hooked on them. So yeah. Um, but I've tried to get Riley in the past, and I had no success. So yeah, if you do that, just hey, I know this guy who wants to interview you.
Sure.
Can
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so
Absolutely.
that'd be great. Anyway, digressed again. I'm horrible at this crap. Okay, such a bad host. Um,
No, you're
so
really not.
do you think this movie is well? I can't ask you the next question now because you haven't seen any of the horror Christmas movies. I was like, have you? Do you think this is similar to other ones? But you haven't watched the other ones.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I haven't seen any at least that I can think of any horror Christmas movies, but when I read the script, the horror movies that I've seen in the past that sort of reminded me of the naughty list of Mr. Scrooge were Bodies, Bodies, Bodies and Ready or Not with Samara Weaving. Have you seen those two?
I've seen Ready or Not, but not Bodies, Bodies, Bodies yet. That's on my list.
Yeah, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies is, I mean, I guess it would be categorized as horror. But it's really more, I feel like the tone of that is somewhat similar to Scrooge. It's very, yeah, it's more like a satire, I would say. Which
Okay.
so is Ready or Not, but Ready or Not, I feel like actually has the suspense elements,
Yeah.
but it's just similar concept. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies is like a group of people that are all trapped in a house and people are dying everywhere and everyone's like, who's killing these people? So very similar.
Ready or Not was a fucked up movie.
That's maybe like one of my favorite. I almost wouldn't even call it horror. I feel like that movie's just a dark comedy.
Yeah.
But I literally that is a movie that I have not laughed out loud that hard in such a long. It is so funny. Like my husband who
Yeah, it was
hates
good.
horror, he's not a horror fan at all. We watched that movie together before I shot Scrooge because sometimes, it helps to watch
Yeah.
watch things that are similar thematically or tonally to what you're going to be doing. And like he loved it, which says a lot because normally, I can barely get him to watch anything horror related. And if he does, he's like this the whole time.
Same thing with my wife. It's so hard to watch a horror movie with her at nighttime. If I'm going to watch a movie with it, it's going to be during the day, all the
Yeah.
curtains and lights on in the living room,
Yep.
and snuggled against me. I'm like, you are the biggest chicken that I know, but I love you.
I know. Because I feel like you have to, I'm the opposite because I'm like, okay, well, if I'm gonna watch a horror movie, I want it to be dark. I wanna really feel it, you know?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I watch TV in the dark all the time, and it drives me crazy. And but if we're going through stuff and I'm trying to pick movies on like a Hulu or um AMC Plus has the best ones so far.
Mhm.
So great. They have a great selection. Shutter, not so much anymore. They gotten worse with their selections.
Hmm.
But AMC Plus has some good ones. What I watched today that I thought was really good. Holy shit! I can't remember the movie now. I just watched it like a couple hours ago.
Hmm.
But it's on AMC Plus. I loved it. But yeah, I'm the same way. It's gonna be completely dark. I gotta wrap the
Yeah.
blanket. I got a bucket popcorn. Like I'm doing this right now. And she's like, "Can I turn my phone on for light?" No.
Yeah, you gotta
So
set the
yeah,
tone.
yeah. Anyway, God, we keep digressing. I could talk about horror movies all day. See what you did. You got me started.
Well, I
So
would hope so. You have a podcast on it. I mean, you're
so
passionate about it. It's awesome.
yeah. Okay. So I want to know what it was like on set seeing a killer and wearing an Ebenezer Scrooge mask. Was it very unsettling or just like normally like whatever?
Um, I think initially when I first saw the Scrooge mask, it was unsettling. But I think as we continued filming, it kind of became, to me anyway, it became like a little comical because uh you get I knew the person who was wearing the
Yeah.
Scrooge mask. You get to know your cast obviously as you continue filming, and the person wearing the Scrooge mask is a very kind, down to earth, really funny person in real life. So it kind of became like a funny thing, honestly, seeing the Scrooge mask and then, seeing him take it off. And this poor man is like sweating bullets because it was also it's so weird. Every Christmas movie I've ever done has always been like during the hottest month of the year. Um, which there's a couple scenes in the movie that, I see that I'm like, girl, you are a sweaty mess. Like it's because if we were filming in like this old house and all the rooms upstairs, like the air conditioning was broken
Oh
and
no.
the temperatures were in the triple digits. There was like a heat advisory warning. It was brutal. Like I've never been in such a hot room in my entire life, and the crew was just such troopers. Like there was one of our crew members brought like a portable air conditioning to
Mm.
just have some ventilation in there because in between scenes like we get a
Yeah.
second to kind of step out and take a break, but they don't. Like they just continue working through that. So the crew, they're the MVPs, truly. Like they worked so hard on this.
I can totally relate because I was a scare actor um for the Valley of Fear in Pennsylvania. And during like September, October months, it gets hot and humid because you're in the woods all the time.
Of
So
course.
my character was called Pork Chop. I wore a pig mask. So
Oh my
um
God.
hold on, let's I actually show it to you real quick. If you will see it or not, I don't know.
Yes.
Where's that?
Oh,
Where's that?
is
There it is.
that's
Yeah.
horrifying.
Yeah. That was my character. We called him Pork Chop. So I only did 2 seasons there because I couldn't take it anymore. So
Yeah, that's a
um
lot.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna tell you it's like 6 weeks out of the year, which is not too bad. So but yeah, but it was not worth the hassle. Sorry guys, it's not worth the hassle on the pay. And the traffic trying to it took 45 minutes to get there was crazy. So
Yeah.
yeah, stuck in Pennsylvania traffic is not fun.
Oh my
Um
gosh.
but yeah, that was my guy, Pork Chop. I became well known on the haunt, but after that I just quit. So I'm like, you know what? I'm about to be 46 in a couple of days. I just can't do this shit anymore. So
Happy almost birthday.
so my body's too old. I've been through enough. So okay. So if you could have betrayed any other character in the movie, who would have been and why?
Oh, if I could have portrayed anybody else in the movie.
Yeah.
Honestly, me personally, I loved Chandler. Chandler is like, I feel like as a viewer watching it, when I'm like, she just, why did she have to go? Like she was just, I think it would have been her. I just feel like she's so entertaining as an audience member to watch because she's just unapologetic, ridiculously over the top. Um, but I also don't think I could have played it as well as Liz Fenning did. So, like, in theory, as an actor, I'm like, yeah, that would be a really fun part to play. But I just think Liz did such a perfect job playing Chandler. So,
Yeah.
like, my real answer, I'm like, I don't know that I would have really like keep her doing that. She's fucking amazing.
That's good. I mean, I liked everybody in the movie. I thought everybody did such a
Yeah,
great job.
yeah, they really did.
Definitely a fun movie to watch. I was fully entertained the entire time, which is
Good.
which is very rare for a horror movie. If I get bored too quick, I'll pick my phone up, start doing checking Instagram, Facebook. The entire movie, my phone was down the entire time. So
Good. Good. I'm
yes, it
glad
was
that
really
you
good.
good. That makes me happy.
You were surprised? I'm sure I watch a movie and my wife's like, "Are you gonna watch this? What are you talking about? What's going on?" It's like, I get bored real quick of the movie. I'm sorry. I'm probably gonna get a lot of crap for this, but there are some very boring horror movies on TV right now.
Oh
So
no, 100. I don't disagree. Yeah, there's definitely just an oversaturation of everything, but I mean, there's something for everybody, you know?
there is, and some movies are just getting way overdone. They're overrated. It's just crazy. So I tried to watch one a couple of days ago, and I think maybe 5 minutes in, and like, you know what? I can't do this. I'm done. So
Yeah, I hear you.
it was normally I love watching independent films. I'm a huge supporter of independent films. You can see that on my IMDb page. I've donated so much money towards independent movies, and backed them up a lot. But
Amazing.
this one, I just couldn't do it. I'm like, no, let's go watch Wheel of Fortune or something. Fuck this. I'm done.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I feel like the place that I'm sort of at is for the most part, if in the within the first 15 minutes, if I'm not at least intrigued, like there's so much out there that I'm probably gonna just go and find something else, you know? Your time is short, your time is valuable,
Yeah.
so life's too
I'm
short
that.
to
Yeah.
read books
Normally
you
I
don't
give like
want to
yeah,
see.
I get it. Yeah. Normally I give like 30 minutes. If I'm not caught by the first 30 minutes, like, okay, it's time to watch something else.
Yeah.
But this one, 5 minutes, 5 fucking minutes. I was just so bored. I'm like, no, I'm done. Just
Yeah,
as if the acting is horrible, I'm definitely not gonna watch it. I mean,
yeah, totally understand.
so but there's a couple movies like this one, the opening scene is great. So, but the killing was good. Um, I don't have a favorite scene, unfortunately, but do you have a favorite scene?
Do I have a favorite scene? As far as I think one of my favorite scenes that we shot, I don't know about seeing it as a viewer, but I'm thinking about like the process of making it, was the scene where it's all of us in one of the main rooms and we all get our gift and it's just that big scene where everybody's together. I really liked shooting that scene because we shot it all the way through. So that was
Okay.
like, I don't know, I want to say like a 7, 8 page scene,
Wow.
and the director just let us go all the way through. Because I do film now, but when I was younger and when I was a kid, I did a lot of theater. So I feel like the theater kid in me loves those opportunities to do scenes where it's just a bunch of people in a room talking and you get to do it all the way through because then you get to live out the emotional arc of that scene.
Got it.
Whereas, like
Yeah.
sometimes I've done projects before where they'll do those kinds of scenes, but they'll kind of shoot it more like stop and go, which is fine. But it's
Yeah.
fun when you get to do it all the way through. And everybody was so prepared. Everyone knew their lines. Everyone was on top of it. So we got to just do it all the way through.
Nice. Very
Yeah.
nice. So, well, I have one last question for you, since we
Yeah.
have about five minutes left.
Yeah.
What's next for you? What's coming up anytime, anything soon?
Yes, so I actually have a movie that's coming out on Sunday, February 28th on Lifetime. It's called Murder at the Lighthouse. Um, and that's of that project. I'm so excited to see how it turns out. It's like story-wise, did you ever see the movie Sleeping with the Enemy, the Julia Roberts movie that came out in like the 90s, 2000?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Well, it's basically that movie, but a couple of twists and turns along the way. And we got to shoot that in Minnesota, which
Oh,
I
nice.
did before, and we saw the Northern Lights on like three separate occasions. So that one was really a very special project. So I'm excited for that to come out.
Nice. So overall, with everything leading up to the ending, it is so well crafted, this movie, and it's hard to dismiss the film entirely, in my opinion. So watch it for the suspense, the stellar direction, which I agree, and the fun performances, but know that the destination will not quite live up to the ride. Just saying. So it's such a good movie. It's such a
That's
phenomenal
fair.
movie. I enjoyed every single second of it. So anyone who's interested in watching this movie, watch the Naughty List of Mr. Scrooge on Plex, Tubi, Chilling, Google Play, and Roku. Now available for streaming online, video on demand. And I want to give a thank you and a heartfelt thank you to Skye Coyne for joining me today. Such a wonderful, talented, and beautiful actress. Um, and I wish you nothing but success in your career in the future. And I will definitely see you more on the big screen.
Yes. Thank you, Benjamin. Thank you so much for having me. This was
Honor and
awesome.
pleasure's all mine. Thank you. You have a